Hello, creators, and congratulations for downloading your Google Sheet for accounting. So, you should have gotten an email by now that had a link to the Google Sheet. And if you haven't seen it in your inbox yet, what you want to do is head over to your spam box and check for spam from NSFW Coach, and you're going to need to move that email to your inbox, because if you try to open the link while it's still in your spam box, the link won't work. That's a safety net that your email service provider has in it so that you don't accidentally click any dangerous links. So once you move that over to your inbox, you can open it up. You'll have something that looks like this. So I'm going to walk you through here. You're going to notice a ton of tabs at the bottom. And these, if you scroll the tabs, there's many tabs. The Start Here tab is going to be the instructions that you have for what I'm going to teach you in this video. But if you don't want to have to watch the video, you can read this page and work on it on your own. The first thing you're going to want to do is head up over to this file and make a copy, because you only have view access. You won't be able to edit as a viewer, and you're going to try to ask me for permission and I'm going to ignore you. So you have to make your own copy. When you make your own copy, you're going to name it something that you can easily recognize, like accounting. Go ahead and make that copy. And it's really important that once you make this copy, you guys don't mess around. Don't like go deleting everything in here, because there are formulas in here. One of the downsides of using Google Sheets is it's not a program like a QuickBooks or other accounting software where it's forces you to keep data where you want it. So I've labeled things as do not edit when I don't want you to touch it, or when you shouldn't touch it. So the first tab is Start Here. If you want to just read through how to do it without watching this video, have at it. I support that. The second tab is Troubleshooting, just in case something goes wrong here. Here are some troubleshooting tips for you. I'm not going to give support on this free template, so it's all on you to figure out from the troubleshooting things. So the next one you're going to go through is transactions. Yours is going to be blank by the time you get this. Mine right now, for training purposes, has some fake transactions in here already. And they're fake because I just want to explain to you quickly what makes this spreadsheet just a little bit more sophisticated than the templates that you can get through the Google Sheets templates. So I have these in here just for easy training here, so that I can show you on this summary page. The summary, do not edit. You're not going to touch anything in here unless you want to look up your profit and loss, your P&Ls, your total income made for a certain time period, or your total expenses for a time period. If you want to look those up, you're going to enter your start date. So profit and losses are typically the beginning of the year to the end of the year. That's why I have those dates in. Those are the only areas you can edit. If you want to just do the month, 1 month, to see what you made for the month, you can change the date simply by typing it in. Oh, sorry. Put the wrong date in. Gave me an error. 31/2026. Okay. You have to put proper dates in there, and then it will give you the month. But for this training purpose, we're going to do the whole year, even though I probably didn't enter transactions that go up to the whole year, but we're just going to pretend as if. So you got to put proper dates in. So if you want to see your profit and loss, your P&Ls, that's going to be all transactions. And once you hit that, you can see it calculates your total income for that time period, your total expenses for that time period, and your net, which is your total income minus your expenses. It gives you all that information. Your accountant is going to appreciate this. You're going to appreciate this. It also gives you all the transactions, every income and expense. If you want to look up just the expenses, you toggle down to just the expenses. This will show you all the expenses within that time period, all the income within that time period. If you want to look up which vendors you've had the most money from, you can do that here in the vendor lookup. Do not edit. So you're not going to change anything in here other than your start dates and choosing which vendor you want to see brought in or lost money. If you are a producer and you need to send out 1099s to people, this is a quick way to be able to see who will be required of you to send a 1099. It will let you know by giving you the status of 1099 required. The requirements are anyone who you paid who is not business to business, someone who's not incorporated, anyone you gave over $600 to as an independent contractor, somebody who's not incorporated, not a business to business transaction. So you're not going to send Apple a 1099. You're not going to send the place you buy your makeup a 1099. And you're not going to send somebody you paid less than $600 to. So if this person made $0, you don't need to send them a 1099. If you paid somebody over $600, you're going to send them a 1099. The start and end date typically for 1099s will be the first of the year as the start date and the last day of the year for the end date. Your accountant will love you for this. There are other areas in here. I'll get to those later. The only other one you might want to touch is categories, because you want to categorize your income to get really specific on where your money is coming into. I like to know which clip stores make what, so you're welcome to change your clip stores or any other income. You just add them here. You can edit this. You can see. So I'm going to change that back. But if you need to edit those, you can change them. You could turn it into however you want to label them, just so it's something that you recognize. So the tab that you're going to spend the most time in is your transactions. And again, yours is going to look more like this. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these people here so that we can start fresh. I want you to start with wherever you want to start with. I recommend starting with the first of the year. If you haven't been tracking your expenses yet, it's never too late to start. I recommend just doing a little bit at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. You don't have to do everything all at once. Take 1 month at a time. Just dedicate time that you would be binge watching one of your favorite shows and just spend a little bit of time entering the transactions. You don't need to look at your receipts that you've been wadding up and throwing into a shoebox. Go ahead, just log into your bank accounts, your credit card accounts, and look at your statements from there. So you're looking at your statement. You see on the first of the year, January 1st, 2026, you had, oh, see, what happened? It will give you errors if you don't type things in properly. The input must be a valid date. So you can actually just double click on it and it'll pop up a calendar and you can put the date in just in case you did what I just did and you didn't put a slash in properly. So you can just double click and pick the dates. Then from your statement, you're going to look at the description. It's there. It's office uh, office supply store. The type was an expense because you spent money at the office supply store. The category is going to be, guess what? Office supplies. These categories are automatically populated from the category list. These are the categories that your accountant is most likely going to want. So you don't need to itemize every single category. Like this was for shoes, this was for makeup, this was for tacos. Yeah, you put them into shoes and makeup, office supplies, maybe equipment, tacos. Probably not a write-off, but if you want to write them off, it could meals and travel meals are totally acceptable. So you can put it under travel meals. You talk to your accountant about what you can write off. I'm not here to do that. That's not my job. I'm just providing this free sheet. So you went to the office supply store, you had your expense, got office supplies. It costs you $17.76. This is from the statements. You paid by credit card, and the vendor was Office Junkyard. I'm just trying not to call anyone out. Uh, don't worry about this column H. Don't touch it. Don't delete anything out of it. It's an important field that is there to be able to pull data for the lookups. So don't delete anything. Don't do this Control Alt Delete. Please don't do that. You will mess up the formulas. There's no way for me to freeze the formulas in there for you. They're there. If you do happen to delete a formula by accident, go back to the email that has the original sheet that I emailed you, the one that went to your spam box. Click make a copy again, go over to whatever that that thing is, that field, and get the formula, copy it, and then paste it into your place. But otherwise, it's if you hit delete, it will make things bad for you. What the fuck? See, I just deleted it, and now I have to go in and come in. I might be able to come in here and yep, see, I can get it from here. So I can Control All, go back into the one I filed, and then I paste it back. And now it's working again. I'm glad I made that mistake so that you can see what to do if you do the same thing. So the next column here is 1099. Yes or no. If you're paying a business, you're not going to send them a 1099, so it's going to be no. These are old fields that were in there. I'm going to delete those for training you. And then here we go. Let's say on that same day, you did a shoot and you made money. So you're going to put in the description of the shoot. You made income. You're made income for performing income. That's a drop down. And you made, good for you, $1,200, and you got paid by Zelle. You're typing all this all in. You got paid. The vendor is who paid you. It's JM Productions. I don't know who that is. I just made them up. And that goes into, it creates the clean vendor. Don't touch that. And 99. No, because they paid you. Right? So then we're going to go, okay, now let's say on the second, you actually, because you're becoming a very sophisticated producer, you did your own production, you did custom video, you had to pay somebody for their performance. So you had an expense and you paid them for their professional fees, agents or other. And if you want, you can add in the categories paid performer, but keeping it under professional fees, agents and others, totally fine too. And you only paid them 200 because it was just a quick one and didn't really need a lot of stuff. So $200, you paid them with Zelle, and the person you paid, whether it's the company or it's an individual, we're going to say this person did not have a company. They're truly a 1099 employee. Their name is Jim. 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 That's his name. And since you did pay him, you will hit yes. That it does go towards the 1099. Let's say the following day, the third, you and Jim did another custom, and you paid Jim again for Jim's professional services, but this time it was a big custom, and you paid Jim $1,800, and you paid him cash. Let's do Zelle, because I'll let you guys decide whether you want to track your cash expenses. I'm not going to say anything about that. You paid him Zelle, and you have to 1099 him. So that's all I'm going to do for examples here. I want to show you this summary of the 1099s. So you'll see from start date from the first of the year to the end of the year, Jim now is entered. Whoop, gosh dang it. See, if you do this on accident, you could just hit Control Z. I accidentally put that in. It'll change his name, but it didn't change his, see if I accidentally type that in, it will mess it up. So you got to not hit any of, don't delete anything out of here. Just don't touch it. I might be able to freeze this page because well, I want you to be able to search for future dates. So, okay, I'm not going to freeze it. So just don't delete anything out of here. Don't edit it. Don't change it. Try not to. If by chance you accidentally hit something here, you can hit Command Z or Control Z, depending on what system you're on, to undo what you just did. And, or, you know what you could also do here, and then just delete it and come back and see if the transactions, if it took that whole thing out. So we need to, okay. So you can see Jim now has his auto-populated 1099 required. It'll say required because it's over the threshold of 600, and your accountant is going to love you because you have the total that you paid Jim so far. Let's see what else. So if you want to look up vendors, people that you've spent money on, who gave you anything, you can go to the vendor lookup tab. You're going to put in, let's see how much you paid Jim for each transaction, how much you paid for junk offices, all that stuff. And that's it. So once again, really importantly, please don't delete anything out of here. If you do end up deleting some of the formulas, you're going to have to go back into the view only, and you can copy the formulas and paste it in. And again, remember, don't let overwhelm prevent you from doing this. Once you get in the habit of doing this regularly, I recommend doing it every day if you have a lot of expenses. If you don't have a lot of expenses, at least once a week, because believe it or not, these expenses start piling up, and you don't think there are a lot of expenses in your statements, and then you go back and look at them and you're like, fuck, there's so many I didn't even realize. I'm sure this happens to you where you think you have a lot of money in your account and you use your debit card and you just keep spending, and then all of a sudden all those tiny little transactions add up, and you get a warning that says you don't have money in your account, or you met your credit card limit, and you're like, how did this happen? It's all those little tiny things that we're not paying attention to that add up. So that's why I recommend doing this at least weekly. I like to do what's called Money Monday. That's what I call it. So every Monday I go into my QuickBooks. I don't use this sheet, guys. I have way too many transactions to use this. I I just shell out the hundreds of dollars for QuickBooks to be able to have everything put into this. When you're first starting out, this is a perfect tool for you. You do have to keep logging the data. It is manual, but you're becoming so professional that this is going to feel easy to you once you make it a habit of doing it every Monday or whatever day works for you. It's going to end up saving you a lot of time and saving you a lot of money because you're not going to have to ask your accountant to go through all your receipts and all your statements and manually or use their computer to do everything for you. If you already have a process that you like, by all means, keep doing it. I'm not trying to have you reinvent the wheel. This is for people who are just starting out, who really don't know um, what to do or have an accountant to do things for. This keeps it very simple for them. I'm going to also, in the upcoming month or so, or by the time you get this, maybe it's already up, I have created a production log that will track your shoots for you, and it will track models in the shoots. This is great for auditing. When you get audited by a clip store, you're going to need to be able to send all the models within a shoot, and it's an easy way to look up the shoot. It's going to come with a podcast sidekick to kind of talk about why it's important to stay organized with your production log. Same reason it's important to stay organized with anything. It simplifies your life. It makes things easier for you, and it makes things easier for the people who you hire down the road to help you, because organization is a lot easier to hand the baton over to. Be like, hey, take it over. I'm organized. It's easy to figure out. It's foolproof. But if you just hand people like a hard drive and say, figure it out, you're delaying progress for yourself. You're going to end up paying more money because now that person has to do all that extra work. If you had just done a little bit every little day, chipped away from it, it would have been a lot easier. Anyways, that's it. Enjoy. Enjoy the sheet and keep your eyes out for the other sheets I have coming out and other courses I have for producers just like you. Bye.